Alright guys, just a quick recording test here. In the VSN F-4 Bravo, we're going to try and do a rejoin on an AI F-4 Bravo, basically just to show that there's some possibility of getting some precision flying out of the current flight model. I know there's been some people who've had some issues with that. It's predominantly going to come down to getting the aircraft in trim, managing your control inputs. Basically, what I'm about to demonstrate is on the basis of my own flight experience. I'm a commercial rated pilot. I got about 1,400 hours flight experience, and that includes about 400 hours of formation and formation instruction that I've done with the Red Star Pilots Association, which is a warbird owners group here in the United States. That's been given in the Yak 52, the Nanchang CJ6, in the T-34 Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, as well as some regular civilian airplanes, RV-4, RV-8, RV-6, RV-7, and Ryan Navion. So done a lot of actual formation flying in the real world, so that does help. But generally speaking, everything you're going to see is just a matter of being very gentle with the controls. The current flight model is kind of grabby, and that's related to the steps, I suspect, in the way the EFM is written. And what it is it'll be based on different AOA conditions and airspeeds and such. So anyway, just wanted to demonstrate that it is possible to actually fly the airplane somewhat precisely. It does have an initial pitch up on air starts, so you're going to see that here in just a second. And so what I'm going to do is try and tame that. We're co-speed, co-altitude with our lead. He's about a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile in front of us. We're 400 knots, 10,000 feet. So once I get over the initial launch issue for the mission, what I'll do is stay in trail. I'm going to let him get his orbit established, and then I'll turn in and try and demonstrate a regular rejoin to the inside, and then maybe do a little bit of close trail, move to the outside, maybe show a VFR and IFR references for guys, and we'll just go from there. So, simple radio, simple radio. There we go. Show controls. Oh, can't get show controls on this one. Okay, that would have helped for you to see what I was doing, but that's all right. So, pushing down on the stick and fly. There, that worked way better. Okay, so we're trimming for basically level flight. Slowing down a little bit, so we're going to arrest that descent, deceleration. Now we don't want to close on lead yet. We'll get into trail. And get back up to co-altitude. So I've adjusted my viewpoint back and up a little bit to be where I think it's a little more representative. We're going to let him get to the left canopy rail. There we go. Then we're going to go ahead and put in a pretty good amount of power because we're going to scrub off some energy here. And we're going to pull lead. See, we're staying kind of co-altitude. We're going to bring him over to the right canopy rail. Trying not to go low, staying just where we can keep him in sight. Now he's going to shallow his turnout here in a minute. It's just a function of how the AI flies. There it is. So now we're going to stay here on the inside of the circle, doing whatever it takes to kind of get the position we want. Now the picture we want from here, so we kind of want to oh, what are you doing there, buddy? There it is. There's the turn. So now basically we want to kind of match his bank angle. I'm using a lot of power here, which I wouldn't normally like to do. So I'm a little nose heavy. I'm going to hit one click on the trim. That took some of that pressure out. That's pretty nice. Alright, now we want to open the circle up, get closer to him. So we're going to put a little bit of power in because we're going to be climbing uphill as well. So this is low. I wouldn't normally want to be this low. But we're still adjusting to sight pictures in the Phantom here. So we're sucked. We're aft of where we want to be. So we actually turn away from him just a little bit. That gives us a geometric advantage here in the circle. Moves us forward. Alright, that looks pretty good. So now we're going to leave some power in. Slightly sucked. So what we're going to look to do here as we get closer, we want to put the wingtip formation lights just about the middle of the slime lights on the intakes. So a little more closure than we want, and we're slightly acute. So again, this is all fingertip flying. Okay, that offset looks about right. We're a little low. Alright, that's close to where we want to be, I think. Slightly sucked, slightly low. Going to give myself one more click of nose up trim. That's a little better. So now we're going to slide forward just a touch. Again, matching the bank angle. And we're a little high. So we're going to come down. There we go. So this is a little oscillatory, but not bad. I'm going to say it feels like probably one click too many nose up. So I'm going to click one nose down, so I have to carry a little bit of back pressure. That's going to make it a little more precise. So I've got my hand braced on my leg, my right leg, flying with literally my thumb and two fingers on the stick. And there you go. So I haven't looked in the NATOPS yet, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to be proper reference. So we'll go ahead and slide on out into close trail. So that's 6 o'clock position here. A little bit of power. So like the F-14, there's a minor pitch coupling with power changes in the Phantom, not as pronounced, which is nice. But again, you can see if you don't get too crazy with your stick inputs, you can be pretty precise. So now we're going to move out to VFR turn position. Now VFR and IFR turns in the Phantom, or in the Navy rather, are different than outside wing reference in the Air Force. So in the Navy, in what's called a VFR echelon turn, you fly co-altitude with lead. So I'm basically going to get lead up on the horizon. I'm going to move, again, match the bank angle, move to where I think that wingtip light and the slime light on the intake would line up. It's a little bit further, I think. I'm a little sucked. Okay. Now for the IFR position, which you would use if you were in formation in the weather, you fly like the Air Force reference, which is welded wings. So I would move up. And again, be real gentle here because of the pitch, that sort of pitchiness that the flight model seems to have. So we're moving up to where we can see the slime lights. A little sucked, I think. Moving up to where we can see the slime lights were a little wide. There we go. So the idea there is when you're able to see where the wingtip form light and the fuselage form lights are, that gives you a good idea of what I suspect is the proper position in formation. So again, just wanted to demonstrate that precise flying is possible with the model in its current state. It is work, as they all are. I think I'm a little wide. See if I can step down in a little closer. But generally speaking, it's workable as is, and it's absolutely great to see Phantoms in DCS, and in particular for those of us who are of the tailhook variety, having Navy birds available is just absolutely marvelous. So big thanks to the VSN team for getting us to this point already. Disco out.